Today we have a coach all the way from Noordhoek, Cape Town, coming to chat to us. Claudia, welcome. Thank you for joining us. And we are delighted to be learning from you. Today, I'm a little bit curious. I want to know, you're a coach with a lot of experience. When it comes to coaching concepts, what do you find to be one of the most useful tools to bring in?
Oh, thanks, Dave. Well, it's great to be here. Thank you for having me. And the thing that I definitely find I get the most traction with in my coaching is helping clients to see the difference between facts and their stories or opinions. Yeah.
And fact and story. When it comes to fact and story, what for you is so powerful about that? That's the thing that jumps to mind for you first. Why does that jump to mind?
So I think we can so easily get trapped in stories which we can confuse with the truth. And stories are a reflection of very often our cultural backgrounds and things we've learned from our families or people in positions of authority in our lives. And we can take them on unthinkingly, and they start to become the lens through which we see the world. And not realizing that we are just seeing things from a particular perspective, which is shaping how we're seeing a certain situation, can limit us. And so being able to have a story revealed is really quite liberating, because it opens up a place for us to be able to choose.
Yeah.
And
I guess,
yeah.
No, I was going to ask, I guess what's key there then is to be able to know the difference between a story and a fact, or an assertion and an assessment. What's the difference?
Well, you're using the ontological language there, because of course I'm an ontological coach, and yes. we call facts assertions, and opinions are assessments. Okay. So an assertion is, well, firstly, it's something that everybody would agree upon. The facts are the things that are. We use facts to describe the world. And in order for something to be a fact, it needs a community of 2 or more people to agree on it. And we need to have a way of measuring it. So, for example, this is a pencil. That's a fact. And we say it's a pencil because it has lead in it and it writes. So that's a fact. Opinions or assessments, on the other hand, are a reflection of the person who holds that opinion's standards or values. Okay. So they say more about the person than the thing they're describing. So, for example, if we go back to this pencil, if I say this is a beautiful pencil, and you say that's an ugly pencil.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Exactly. Those 2 assessments say everything about our different views of the world and how we've learned to see things. And they say nothing about the pencil.
Yeah. Wow.
But this is where assessments and assertions become so interesting, because people fall into the trap of thinking, well, it's a fact that the pencil is ugly.
Yeah.
Or it's a fact. Yeah.
Sure. So I mean, what a useful concept when it comes to a coaching journey. How do you bring that in to a coaching conversation? How do you make it relevant to the journey of a client?
Well, if I think somebody's talking about a situation and I might spot what I think is an assessment about something that perhaps they're confusing with the truth, I'll be quite explicit about asking them whether perhaps they are holding a story about something, an assessment, as a true fact. And I'll invite them to explore it together with me. Where did they learn the story? And to start to see how valid it is.
Yeah. So important for a coach to be listening so intently to be able to pick that up. Otherwise it will just flow. But now the funny thing is that we all do this, right? We all have these limiting behaviors or these stories that we tell. Why do we do it if it's not always useful for us?
Well, that's a brilliant point. I think to be human is to live in stories. We create narratives all the time, and We can't not do it. So we actually take on the stories of our families and our cultures, people in positions of authority around us, like teachers and parents, because we want to belong and fit into a group. And we don't question these values that we just take on. It just happens. We are like fish swimming in water. We don't see these stories around us, but they shape our lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, yeah, I have lots of examples where clients have seen a story suddenly, and it's been just literally an eye-opener.
Sure. Well, I mean, and this is a very short conversation around stories and facts. I'm assuming that if anybody has questions about it or wants to learn a little bit more, that they can contact you, reach out, and get a little bit more in-depth understanding of how you could bring it into coaching or into your personal life.
Absolutely. It's one of my favorite topics, and yeah, people are welcome to get in touch.
Yeah, I think it's a deep topic and would require a lot of exploration, much more time than we have on this channel. Coach, thank you for sharing an interesting and powerful concept with us, and we look forward to hearing from you again soon.
Thanks, Dave. It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.